Good afternoon. Ṣílẹ̀kùn ayọ̀ mi o, bàbá ṣílẹ̀kùn ayọ̀ mi. Ìbànújẹ́ o, jẹ́ kó jìnnà sí ilé mi. Wàá múnú mi dùn, bàbá onílé ayọ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ ayọ̀ mi, má jẹ́ kó pa mí lẹ́kún. Ṣílẹ̀kùn ayọ̀ mi o, bàbá ṣílẹ̀kùn ayọ̀ mi. Ìbànújẹ́ o, jẹ́ kó jìnnà sí ilé mi. Wàá múnú mi dùn, bàbá onílé ayọ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ ayọ̀ mi, má jẹ́ kó pa mí lẹ́kún. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. My name is Moji Wilson. I'm a certified life coach and inclusion and diversity specialist, and I'm also a licensed New York State real estate broker. But most people know that I am a lesbian. I am 58 years old. I've been gay all my life, and I think you guys are tired of my story. So I'm not even going to tell you my story at this point. This particular day, we'll be talking about the thing that happened in New Jersey. It's embarrassing as a Nigerian. It's embarrassing as a Black person. It's embarrassing, even more embarrassing as a human being. I think we all should be very, very upset that this kind of things can happen in the United States of America, where they tell all of us, come as you are. Send me your poor, send me your hungry, we will take you. America has a same-gender marriage act that protects the rights of LGBTQIAs. That's why you find a lot of immigrants in the United States, especially the LGBTQIA communities. And as you guys know, we're as fabulous and brilliant and amazing as humanly possible because we know what it feels like to be marginalized by the larger society. So I am coming to you today because we need to start talking about real life, right? I can post my Ewedu food, on social media and you guys are excited. But today we need to talk about real issues. Before I start though, let me do this so my wife does not kill me. So hang in there, I'll be right back. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I have Mr. Adewoye, an ex-priest from Nigeria who has been in the United States for quite a while. And he runs a not-for-profit organization for LGBTQIA refugees across the globe. As you guys know, we have African LGBTQ and the Solo Wilson Scholarship Program. Today, yesterday I got a video sent to me, and in the video, which I'll play now, if you don't mind, I'll play the video now. Bishop Kenneth Ross, a white Anglican, I guess priest, that's what you call them, but he's a bishop. He's a heterosexual man. Just to give you a backstory, the Anglican Church changed their stance on the same-gender marriage law. Now it's okay to be gay and to attend Anglican churches because they realized, look, they don't create people, I'm assuming, and because they don't have the power to create human beings, they should allow people to serve God, right? So guess what? They now allow gays and lesbians and trans people into their communities, into their church. But the Nigerian churches denounced the right for LGBTQIAs to get married. But here's a caveat. We live in America where the law says you cannot harm LGBTQs. You cannot discriminate against us. You cannot not give us a job or give us a home. There's a whole act that was put into place. And there's punishments to go with it. But here you go. Watch this and then we'll move on.
You're not welcome here. You are not welcome here. You're not welcome. You're not welcome here. You are not welcome.
So that's the first video. As the bishop was walking in, you heard one voice, one woman shouting, "You're not welcome here, you're not welcome here. You're not." And this is how Nigeria operates. One person screams thief. Nobody stops to say what's going on, what did the person do? Kata kata just starts because a lot of people are suffering from dondigitis. A lot of people are suffering from, I repeat, dondigitis. That's an illness where people just follow blindly and they don't stop to ask questions, right? So the next video I'm going to play, because I need you guys to understand what we're talking about. So in the meantime, you see them fighting each, that rushing like a lynching mob. If you've ever lived in Nigeria, I know you know what I'm talking about. So one woman starts screaming, gay, you're not gay because the guy is straight. We don't believe in what you believe in. The only thing they don't believe in, they all believe in God. They all believe that there's a heaven and a hell. They believe that everybody in that church, except for the white man and a few other people that are not speaking their truth, that believe that LGBTQIA people should be allowed to just be and marry and do, just be normal, because we are normal, right? So you saw where they were all rushing towards the stage and the guy in the red jacket was trying to stop them. They shoved him and they were trying to beat him up and all kinds of stuff happened. In the meantime, let me bring in Mr. Adewoye. He's back. Good morning, Mr. John. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm very well, thank you. And thank you so much for joining this broadcast today. I know you're a very busy man. Would you be kind enough to introduce yourself, sir?
My name is John Adewoye. I live in Riverdale, Illinois. I'm a Nigerian and also an America by process of naturalization. Uh, I'm one of the oldest out gay, proud gay man from Nigeria here in US, and I, I was a Catholic priest. I was a Catholic priest, and I still cherish my faith. I cherish my training, and with the reality of my situation, I've been able to support people on daily basis who are in the LGBT community throughout the world, particularly the Black people, particularly those who are from Nigeria. Uh, the link with me on Facebook. We from talk from anything to the actual thing, and I've been able to bring many people to peace with themselves as an openly gay Nigerian person.
That's married to another Nigerian
Oh yeah,
person.
yeah.
Let's not
I'm
forget
married.
that, because
Yeah,
people seem to think Moji and Margaret are the only gay Nigerian to Nigerian that are married. There's
yeah,
several of us out there. Mr. Adewoye
yeah.
has been doing what he's been doing for a very long time. I start tearing up when I want to share his story with you guys one day, but this is not the place. So Mr. Adewoye is one of the oldest Nigerian gay men that I know that's openly out, not married to a woman, not pretending to be straight, and always been gay his life. So can you just please give us a background, a short background of the Anglican, American Anglican Church and the Nigerian Anglican Church, and what the hoopla is all about?
Well, let me first of all clear one thing. I am not an Anglican. I am a Roman Catholic. I was ordained in Roman Catholic Church. But as a gay man from Africa, particularly from Nigeria, I'm very familiar with what is going on in the Anglican Communion, what is causing a kind of world division in Africa, Anglican Communion, African Anglican Communion, and the rest World Anglican Communion right now. There are 2 points. One touches home with me directly, which is the LGBT issue. The second one is the right of women to be ministers of Jesus Christ in the Church of Jesus Christ here, not only in America, but worldwide. So, as per those 2 issues, I'm going to stay neatly with the LGBT issue because that one touches me personally. It doesn't mean that women's right does not touch me, because if a person's right is denied, everybody's right is threatened, because a denial of anybody's right is a show of power over the person. And if a person will take no show power over any other person, they can also show it the same power, use the same power against another person. So the Anglican Church came to the point of realizing the truth and nothing but the truth, that there is nothing wrong with anyone who is gay, bisexual, transgender, and all other sexual minority as we have them. God does not make mistake. I wouldn't delve into my story, but I know I have been this way all my life. Even before I could say, because before I could classify myself as gay, people have seen me as very different. And the difference they've seen me is what comes out to be being a gay person. Well, Anglican Church have problem with this. It's not only Anglican Church. In fact, I would say they are probably doing better than the Catholic Church, because at least they are talking about it. They are facing the reality. They're facing divisions, and they're working on reconciliation, unlike Catholic Church uh, that is so quiet about it. So the fact of the Bible, quoting the Bible to support their anti-women and anti-gay uh, doctrines has caused some divisions in Anglican Communion worldwide.
Right, Mr. Adewoye, you know, what bothers me a lot about this Anglican movement or this Anglican thing is the fact that we live in the United States of America. And yes, women's rights have been, you know, kind of been challenged for many years, but things are turning around. Everybody's talking about inclusion and diversity and all that, right? And
Right.
but the churches don't want to move. They keep talking about the word of God never changes, but I know it does. It's not that the word of God changes, but life is moving on and they choose to stay stagnant. Let's focus on this issue with the church. Let me play a video real quick, right? And then we'll focus on the issue real quick. All right, I'm going to play one more video. Just bear with me. I'm taking you down and I'll bring you back up, right? I'm going to play one more video. And it's so disheartening. It really is. Let's play one more video. I think that's. So Mr. Adewoye is on the phone. While Mr. Adewoye is on the phone, I'm going to go forward and discuss the video that we just watched. So the bishop comes in, one woman starts screaming, we're not, we don't agree with what you agree with and all that stuff, right? And all of a sudden, people were jumping at the white man. I mean, look, any which way you want to look at this is barbaric. So you can imagine a white man that's serving God. The guy was clutching to his Bible because he didn't have anywhere to go. He was scared. You could tell he was scared. All he could do was hold on to the Bible, right? And he looked very afraid. And he's in a room with all black people. All black people. Nigerians are all, I'm Nigerian phobic. I don't mind dealing with Nigerians on a one-on-one at this point as a lesbian woman, but I will not deal with a group. Like, I don't go to Nigerian churches, I don't go to Nigerian parties, because all it takes is one person to start screaming or start doing something stupid and nobody stands up for you. Not a single person. It's like Nigerians, you'll see something happening and a white man will step in, a black American will step in to help you. Nigerians don't do that. I've been in a market where somebody starts screaming thief and people start throwing sticks and they're throwing all kinds of stuff at this person and nobody stopped to ask, what did he steal? What is going on? Nothing. It's like people are mental these days. We are mad. How can you come to the United States of America? Every time I get on the stage and I say, oh, I'm gay, they tell me, well, we don't want you in Nigeria. Go to a country where you're accepted. So why would you come to America that allows gay people to be gay from your country, your crap hole country, that has no electric, has no food, has no light, and your government you've been in a bad relationship with your government for like 40 years, to a country that gives you shelter, and now you're abusing their rights. This is a human rights issue. This is not a gay or kiniko issue. The man that they are caught, that they assaulted is not gay. So you can understand why people are afraid of black people, why people are afraid of Africans. Look at the way they were acting like hyenas that were hungry. What are you, God's assistant? Which one concern you with person where they marry, person where they love? Consenting adults. In the meantime, your husband is shagging your 9-year-old housekeeper because you yourself you are what? You are a slave. You're a slave master. If you have a 9-year-old, 10-year-old, if you have anybody that's below 18 working for you as your house help, you are a slave owner. But no, you're going to be bothered about me and others like me that are in loving relationships. Welcome back, Mr. Adewoye.
Thank you.
Let me mute myself while you go on. Continue with the Anglican story and what transpired on Sunday and how you believe we can help this.
So since it's been this has been it's over 10 years now that they've been in this, and it seems to be in some cases there'll be some reconciliation somewhere, but where the reconciliation is not taking place is where people really feel oppressed the most, and that is Africa. Talk of oppression internalized, it is already part of our lives. We don't really see ourselves as being oppressed. So it's not difficult for us, since we have internalized it, since we know that it's not difficult for us to even oppress others. It's not difficult for us to oppress each other. We may say we're doing this in the name of Jesus, but in reality, this is denial of human rights. This is oppression of the poor. Believe it or not, this is oppression of the poor. This is denial of the rights of anyone who is in the brackets of sexual minority. And what does this really breed? Like, I've been here for 21 years. I love America, but I never thought of living in America if not that Nigeria cannot be a home for me simply because of my sexual orientation.
You and I both. I was working so hard all my life in America. My father sent me at a very young age. All I was doing was getting myself together so I can go back to Nigeria and build houses for poor people, because my father left a lot of land. That was my goal in life. And then this law came through. But you know what upsets me the most, aside of the fact that I'm not good here, because I can go like a lot of people. Part of the problem, in my eyes, are the fact that we LGBTQIAs, or lesbians and gays, let me focus on that, we have internalized homophobia ourselves. Because a lot of the lesbians and gays that are, even in America, are still in the closet. And because they're in the closet, sir, we don't have visibility. And because we don't have visibility, people really think that no gays and lesbians in their homes, in their communities, when in fact their husbands and wives are gay, their sons, their daughters are gay. But they continue to believe that it's not in their homes. But without visibility, we can't change this. Can
That
we?
is a fact. That is a truth. That is a real glaring truth, and which speaks to our own community. I've come to know a number of people who, by the fact of them knowing that I am gay, have come to sit down and think twice and have a kind of change of attitude towards the gay community. The closet will not help us in any way. The closet will not help us.
Please tell them, because for me personally, if we Nigerian lesbians and gays don't going up, don't start allowing people, especially our families, to talk to us, I mean, to see us living normal lives, doing normal things. You know, we are just average. We are not just, it's not just about our sexuality. A lot of us are doing amazing things across the globe. But sir, you know what's funny? If we go to the churches, I don't go to church anymore. If we go to the churches and we give them money, and we give them big money, right? As long as we don't talk about being gay, they're okay with it. My problem is I'm married to a woman. So when my wife and I go to church, I can't say, I can't, how am I going to introduce her? This is my friend, or this is my sister. I'm not doing that. This is 2022, right?
Yeah.
Don't laugh. That's why I stopped going to church. I don't go to Nigerian parties because I don't want to be the spectacle.
Yeah.
And you know what's really sad, sir? What really bothers me the most of all this is that Black people, I am more afraid of Black people than I am of the KKK. And I mean Black people across the globe because of Christianity. Religion has damaged Black people, not God.
Yeah, well, and that is another truth, a very glaring truth. Even the Black African Americans here in US, you can see it's there. It's well written in the history. Things are changing gradually in that community. I must confess, things are changing, but when it comes to how they held the oppression of the LGBT people, the Black community here in US was the worst, just as we have in Nigeria. And what does oppression of LGBT bring to the community? It brings dishonesty. I have seen a number of women suffering under, and even men suffering under, because of their relationship with a gay person, because the truth is not there, the reconnection is not there, and in some cases things blow up and then they get to know the truth. And the way we deal with shame, especially in Nigeria, is in itself very, very shameful and stupid. Then you see things break apart so much to the point of people, innocent people who are not gay, and the gay person in such a relationship having to become so depressed that their children are affected in one way or the other. That dishonesty. Give me the freedom to be myself.
Exactly. So I won't marry
you will see
if you're
the
not
best
gay.
of me.
Right? If straight people don't understand that they have a lot more to lose, because a lot of us in the beginning, were marrying before 2016 in America, we thought we had to, Moji, luckily for you, you never had to marry a woman because you were a priest. I married a man for 4 or 5 years because I thought it was the right thing to do. And then I realized, wait, I was dying inside. So not only are we trying to help the heterosexual community by not having to marry them, you would think the heterosexual community wants us to marry each other so we don't go into relationships with them, believing that's the only way to have children, to survive. This is 2022. What is wrong with Nigerians? And they keep saying, show me in the Bible where it says you can homosexual. Where in the Bible does it say you can have internet? Where in the Bible does it say you should drive a car? Where in the Bible does it say you should Facebook? I don't see Clubhouse in the Bible, but you're using it. I mean, where in the Bible? In the Bible, you could, in the past, you could marry a 16, 12, 10-year-old child. Solomon married 700 wives. Today, you can't do that. And I don't like to argue the Bible because nobody's going to win, sir. You know, because people that believe that the Bible is it, the Bible is written by man according to what they believed was the word of God in those days. I spoke to a pastor last night who a client, one of my friends who's buying a house from me, called me up. The woman has stage 2 cancer. And the pastor is telling her not to go to church, not to go to the hospital, but come to church. He'll make some soap and some oil for her to bathe with. And the woman calls me. This is a freaking engineer. She calls me. She's highly educated, lives in America, tells me she's going to this church that starts with M and ends with F. And she's going to church to stay there for 7 days. I'm like, look, you need to go see a doctor. Prayer and action is what works. We're brainwashed. People have been brainwashed.
Yeah, people have been brainwashed. But like what happened in Abington, New Jersey, it also means that if you're in a society like this, there's a way you can always live your life and live it peacefully. Even if you don't agree or accept gay people, especially when it comes to the house of God, leave that judgment to God.
To God.
Don't be a stumbling block or source of agony, unnecessary agony in the name of God against another person. I watched how they shoveled one elderly man in red jacket there
Right?
in that video. And I wondered whatever position that man must have taken that warrant that. I watched how angrily the Anglican came up. Nigerian Anglicans came up in that video to the point of, that probably doubting the anointing of the bishop, who was Bishop Ross, who was among them. Well, what I'm saying and what I want everybody to listen to is that we should be able to, we talk of separation of church and state. Yes. And even while we are in the church, not all of us belong to the same party. In Nigeria, they have PDP, they have APC, there is Labour Party. Yet we go to the same church. And everybody should be able to sit in that church and plead their own way to God.
Exactly. Exactly.
The same thing. Sinners and saints need to be able to go to church and plead their own way to that same God. It shouldn't be any person's prerogative to disturb that. When it comes to that, your religion is no longer a religion. It has become a kind of politics. And it's even worse than politics. It has become a kind of self-righteousness, which Jesus himself condemned.
Right?
This is the way
I don't even understand. I don't think these people read their Bible. I really don't, because if you think about it, Jesus Christ was not a Christian. They're fighting for the right of Jesus Christ who did not ask you to, number one. God did not appoint anybody as his assistant. If God is the one that judges us, then let people serve God authentically, right? You'll see, I notice, I speak to a lot of young people, both gay and straight. And what I'm finding, sir, is that a lot of them are becoming atheists. They no longer believe in God. So they're suffering from depression. They're suffering from anxiety because there's nothing that anchors them. But what I continue to tell them is, look, you can build a relationship with God without going inside a building. God walks with me and you and everybody else wherever we are. That's church. You don't need somebody to tell you who God is when God lives within you. This thing is not making sense.
We have 1,001 religious denominations in the world now.
Yeah.
And it's not only among Christians, even among Muslims, there are denominations.
Yeah.
And I bet you, if we go to our own grassroots with the Shango worshippers, and we'll still be, as long as we are human beings, we'll still be able to have different denominations, people having different approaches, different approach to how they reach whatever they call a divine. The important thing, which I will enjoin us to do, is for each person, and this is what I tell many in our gay community, find your own angle of getting in touch with your inner self, with the divine ones, and make sure you don't impose that on anyone. Respect other people's rights. Just know it, because as they started beating up each other, they could even kill each other in that church.
Right?
I bet
All
you.
in the name of, it's not even like a gay person was in the church standing up and saying I'm gay. Because if I had been there, you know me, everywhere I go, I tell everybody I'm gay. My name is Moji, I'm a lesbian. So that I know, that's what I do. But there was nobody saying I'm gay. The pastor, the bishop is a straight white man. How do you comport yourself like animals? Uncouth, lack of home training, no integrity, and definitely their moral compass is broken. If you think in the house of God, you can beat up God's servant because he believes in something, in human rights. The arrogance and ignorance of Nigerians baffles me, especially Nigerian Christians, African Christians, Black people in general. Like I said, I am Nigerian phobic. I will deal with Nigerians one-on-one. I don't deal in a pack, because one of them will say something and everybody, it's like something snaps. And they all, a lot of times, it's happened several times to me. And it's not all Nigerians, I must tell you. I know a few Nigerians that are Oriwakbedada. I haven't met a lot, but I've met quite a number of them. I'm not going to lie. I haven't met a lot, and I've given them a lot of chances, just like you. If it's not money affiliated, like right now, I know if I go on my page and start posting, whoever supports me, I'll give them 5,000 naira. Watch how many people will show up, right? Watch how many people will show up. Whoever is doing whatever, as long as money is involved, people will take your money if you're gay. What we all need to do as gay people, honestly, is to understand who we are and understand that God that created us, or whatever, Muslim, Buddha, Allah, whatever you believe in, there's over 250 paths to God. There's Buddhism, there's Ifa, there's the Quran. There's all sorts of paths to God. It's not just Christianity. Me, I'm an omnist. I'm sorry, Mr. Adewoye, I don't call myself a Christian anymore because these people embarrass me all the time.
Yeah. Well, some people thought I was kind of joking with what was going on because I called them Anglican.
Yeah.
Angry camp. Of course, to carry such to the house of God, if you call it house of God, is ridiculous. And someone, one of the young ones, sent me a text message through Facebook after watching that, and it's like, Uncle John, do you think God really exists? watching this type of thing, and even if they kill themselves, God will still not say anything.
Yeah.
Are you sure God, there is God? And there was, it's a difficult, it's a recurring question I've had people ask.
Mr.
And it's a
Adewoye, I
kind,
have asked you the same question. I have
yeah,
asked you several times because for a long time I was struggling with spirituality because I did not understand why God permits people, humans like me, to rubbish his name, to do horrible things to his children that he or they allegedly created in their own image. So why would Baba Shukra take a stick or a tie and put it on a gay boy's neck in Nigeria, and they all set fire to it and nobody does anything? I called you and asked you the same question. What did you tell me, sir?
well, you know, as I've always said to people, if you listen attentively, you will find the divine power within you, and that is where God is. Sometimes people might think they have lost it by not just believing in God. But know one thing, that in every situation of life, there is a voice, not a void, a voice within us that points us to one higher power that can carry us through any thick and thin in life. If we shut the door against such, that is where the vacuum comes.
Yeah.
In some cases, of course, talk of the humanists. Some people think I'm humanist because I tell people I'd rather spend my time serving people the way with the capacity I have,
Right.
than spending 5 hours in the church doing acrobatic or Christianity.
Yeah.
Which is easy to do, and which is as authentic as authentic as it may be. The essence of things which I had and which I hold on to in Christianity is what Jesus said: I was hungry, you fed me.
You fed me.
If a person who's hungry comes to me and I have the food, I'll give you. If I don't have, I'll let you know.
Yes.
I was homeless, you housed me.
Housed me. That's exactly what we do too.
In the hospital, you visited me.
Yes.
In the prison, you looked after me. And we can do this in different ways.
Yeah.
It's a simple call for kindness towards one another.
That's it.
Like the summary of almost every faith: love your neighbor as yourself.
Problem. You see, I think you just hit the nail on the head, though. Most people don't love themselves. A lot of these Nigerian people that are married in relationships are not happy. A lot of them are miserable. So because they don't love themselves and they don't love their life, it's very hard for them to love anybody else. And sadly, our society condemns women, because you notice that in that video, you will see, let me find you another video, that it's the woman that was screaming louder than anybody else. It's always the women. You know, it's the women that are marginalized in Nigeria. It's the women whose husband is cheating with 5 women. It's the women whose husband has 20,000 kids outside. That it seems like it's the marginalized people that always go out there to harm and abuse others. Hold on, Mr. Adewoye. I know you have to go soon, and so do I, but let me play this last video, right? And I'm going to go back to the last video. Just give me a second while I find it. And this is the last video.
This is happening now in Igbo Anglican Church, Abington, New Jersey. This is the intruder bishop that came all the way from Colorado to come and hijack our church. And the police officer is here from Abington Police. This is what he's been facing. No, Bishop Ross we don't believe in the same thing. I don't care. We don't believe in the same thing. Bishop Ross cannot hijack our church. You cannot hijack our church. This will not happen. It will not happen.
Again, she kept saying, you cannot hijack our church. Nobody's hijacking your church. Your church is there. The white man came to preach because you invited him. It's not like he just showed off on the street. The white man is a heterosexual man whose church believes in same-gender relationship. You are under the umbrella of the Anglican Church of America. And by the way, you know me, I don't come to the table without doing research. Originally, it was supposed to be just a mission to support Nigerians that were here. The church is just one tribe, just so you know. It's only one tribe that's in that church, right? According to the research that we did. Now, that woman that instigated and created this madness should be cited for human rights, right? Abuse of human rights, discrimination. It should be a racial profiling. I mean, I could give you 10 things they should slap this woman with. And then, not just that, when you accost a human being like that, how do you feel? Does that make you feel powerful? Did it make her feel powerful? This kind of mentality is what I used to call the SARS mentality, right? Because people say NSARS, NSARS. SARS is in Nigerians' minds. It's in a lot of Nigerian people's minds. We don't have the courage to speak the truth. We don't have the courage to do the right thing. We don't have the courage to live and let live. Why? Why?
Well, that is what I called oppression internalized. That is what I call oppression internalized. When we internalized oppression, it will become part and parcel of our lives that we wouldn't even see ourselves being oppressed, nor be able to see ourselves oppressing others. Now, let's go back to that church. This church, even if it is only the Igbos that are there, those I look at the structure of the church. This would be a church that could be about 80 years old or 90 years old. It's not a modern building.
Yeah.
It means some people built it before these people came.
Yeah.
To occupy it. Maybe they bought it? Would they have bought it from the dowses, within the dowses? This is the way I'm looking at it.
Right.
Are they trying to create their own dowses? And I still need to do a little more research on that, because it's like I heard that the bishop, the Anglican Archbishop of Nigeria has created his own jurisdiction within US.
But it can't do that.
You don't do that.
You cannot do that. You cannot have laws that overrides the laws of a land.
You don't do that. Well, they might say, of course, it's not a land, it is the church. All the same. As I told someone on Facebook this morning, it's like the white people in Nigeria who are Anglicans gathering themselves together to worship in English, and then say to Nigerians, even though you guys speak English, black people cannot show up there.
What's wrong with this people?
It makes no sense. Not to talk of when the church exists within the jurisdiction of a bishop. Ross is a bishop.
Yeah.
Does his jurisdiction extend to Abington, New Jersey? Probably. Because if not, he will not. I know the church. Anglican church could be a different entity, but I know he will not cross the boundary to another bishop's own jurisdiction.
But they invited him, though.
So if he was invited, that is part of it. He wouldn't have come on his own. So if he was invited, why this commotion? Why?
My thing is, at this point, anybody that does not like the fact that America is okay with gay people having human rights Go back to your village. Go back to Nigeria. You cannot expect to bring your jagbajantis of no human rights to this country. If this was a white church that said black people cannot come in, the whole of America
Oh my God. They're
the
all
whole of America, they will be burning everything down right now. But
CNN will be there. All of them, the major newspaper would have, even Fox News will be there.
Everybody. And let me tell you, this thing is not going to go away because we're not going to let it go away. We have to send a message to the Anglican, Nigerian, all the black community, all the homophobes. We're not saying you should accept us. We're not saying you should be. We don't want anything from you. We're saying live and let live. And to you, LGBT, Abby, just live and let live. Let us be. Don't kill us. Don't harm us. Don't threaten our lives. That's all we ask for. Mr. Adewoye, it's about, I am so grateful you came by. Is there anything you would like to leave us with? Because I know you have to go.
Well, you said one thing, and which is part of what I jotted down here. This is life. It's a big, big place. Live and let live. That is my last word to you. Then to you, to all the LGBT people who are Anglicans, who are from Africa in particular, who still go to Anglican church for whatever reason of either association or anything. Take courage, be bold enough to stand for your truth. You might find yourself changing attitudes. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Oops, I'm talking away. Sorry, thank you for telling me that. Rebirth. One of the things, I'm so grateful that Mr. Adewoye came on, and it's been a turbulent week, very turbulent past 2 weeks. Because let me tell you, one of our friends committed suicide, not gay, straight man, oppression, right? Depression and oppression. When you oppress people, they walk away from God. When they walk away from God, there's a vacuum, a void within them that they don't understand what to do with, right? A lot of you guys that are Nigerians, you have to understand the SARS mentality is what a lot of people come to the outside the country with. We have to do better. We gotta do better. We have to understand that this computer, this phone, this internet, this cell phone is not in the Bible. The internet is not in the Bible. The cars we drive are not in the Bible, but yet we drive and we use all these things that are not in the Bible. Me loving my wife and marrying my wife, another consenting adult, has absolutely nothing to do with you. I, Moji, am not asking for your permission to be. What I'm demanding is that you have no right to oppress us. You have no right to kill us. You have no right to make us uncomfortable. And I dare you to get a first-class ticket to God and ask him why he created gays and lesbians. Ask him why he made us so fabulous and talented and beautiful and courageous because of all the pain that you have put us through. A lot of us are very strong and we're moving mountains and doing amazing things. Let me tell you, we are not afraid of you. We will continue to stand. We will continue to live our lives. To you LGBTQIAs that are out there, that are Africans and Nigerians, let me tell you, visibility is key. When I came out, there was not a single woman out here saying I am gay. When I came out, yes, I lost a lot. I lost family, I lost business, I lost friends, but I met my wife. I met Mr. Adewoye. I met a lot of people I now call my tribe, gay and straight. Without being authentic and living your authentic life, let me tell you right now, you cannot get to your promised land. You cannot be the best version of yourself because your light will never shine as brightly as it should. But not just that, it's not just about you. It's about the young girls and the young boys that are growing up different like we were many years ago. It's important that you allow your light to shine so brightly. Living your authentic life. I'm not asking you to become an activist. Just live. So live truthfully. Stop marrying the opposite gender like a lot of us did, and we almost lost our mind. It cost me tons of money. It cost me tons of time. I almost lost my mind. You must understand that without visibility, without you coming out of the closet, this war is never going to be won. Even if they change the SNCP law, the SARS mentality will stay. Imagine if that woman's son was gay and stood up and said, I'm gay. You think she would do that? Imagine all those people in the church that were trying to protect the pastor or the bishop. Imagine if one of them is gay and says, oh, I'm gay. And they all know that because they've been engaging with this person that's allegedly gay. Half of the choirs of the church are gay people. Half of the pastors, your top pastors in Nigerians, are gay. 75% of them. All these high-flying pastors with jets flying all over the place, they're gay. You and I know that. At least I know that. But my job is not to out anybody. 50% of the 75% of the entertainment industry across the globe are gay. Designers, gay. Doctors, maybe 40-30%. Statistics states that 10% of the world is LGBTQIA. By the way, those are those of us that raised our hand and says, count me. I can give you another 30% that are in the closet today. Your wife, your husband, your son, your father, your mother, your dentist, your doctor, your mama lakara, your yashukura, and baba shukura. There's a huge possibility they're gay. Be careful how you spew hate, because that hate might end up at your doorstep. And by the way, there's a huge possibility that you yourself are gay. What statistics has shown, what data has shown is that the most hateful people, the most homophobic people are gay. If you're one of those people, remember that every time you hurt a gay person, you're hurting yourself. Every time you discriminate against another, you're hurting yourself. When Donald Trump said Nigeria was a shithole, we all jumped up and down. We were all upset. Look at the way Nigerians comported themselves. Look at the way Nigerians accosted Bishop Kenneth Ross, a white man, a white straight man, because he believes in the rights of human beings to marry consenting adults. We have to do better. And we also have to learn to stand up and speak the truth, because we're giving too much space for people that hate. My name is Moji Solo Wilson. What an emotional day. Share this video for me. Understand that whatever you do, whatever you and I do, right? It's going to affect our children, our society, our culture, and the Black race. At the end of the day, God did not die. God did not die and make anybody his assistant. Allow God to do their job, because none of us have ever met him. None of us know who God is. None of us, but we feel God. We know from, I always say my life is a testimony of the grace of God, not the grace of Christianity, not Islam. My mother is an Alaja. She's cool with me being gay. She's 86. And a 40-something-year-old that has access to the internet cannot go to YouTube and watch things and do research. A lot of Nigerians are educated illiterates, and it shows in the way we move. Shows in the way we move. My name is Moji Solo Wilson. Thank you all for being here. Please share the video for me. and I'll see you. By the way, we're going to be on Clubhouse. Join us there. Namaste.